So let's kick off this Jackie Chan July. Some of July. In reverse chronological order, 10 films which I consider to be some of the more interesting and rewatchable of Jackie Chan's filmography, although I opted for one per series. I didn't want to just have to, load the list with police story films, so I figured I'd just, one Armor of God film, and yeah, actually that's one Drunken Master, you know how it is. In 1995, we have Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan's first film to receive mainstream cinema showing in the United States. The copy of the film I'm watching is a quite, you might say, hilariously dubbed version, actually. The appeal of Rumble in the Bronx, from someone who wants to view a Jackie Chan film, seeing the title and the poster, the appeal is, oh wow, we're going to get Jackie Chan, there's going to be a kind of culture shock thing, he's going to be in New York City, he's going to be in the kind of urban areas, and he's going to be, testing out his martial arts against some criminals down there, it's going to be him utilizing the New York City environment. It's going to be a classic, how that's going to be really good. Well, infamously, the film is all shot in Vancouver. There are many who have, well, at least one famous video creator who I'm not a particularly big fan of whatsoever. I believe they claim that this film did a really great job of simulating New York City. Death Wish 3 might have done a better job. I mean, if you go into this with an inkling of a suspicion that this isn't actually New York City, it all falls apart. If you don't think twice about it, yeah, maybe you won't think about it in the same way that you don't think that Seinfeld isn't shot in New York or whatever, but when you think about it, it's like, well, obviously these are all, these are all sets and exteriors. What we have is one of these goofy Jackie Chan slapstick comedy films with some hard, you know how it is. Like a film like Dragons Forever will start off as a rom-com love triangle film, and then it'll end with characters being forcibly injected with heroin. You know how it is. Maybe you don't. You're in for a massive surprise when you actually watch those films, if you don't know. Nevertheless, yeah, Rumble in the Bronx operates with that sort of tone. We go from this charming little love triangle thing into really brutal scenes of Jackie having glass bottles thrown at him, bloodily walking up the stairs, then this guy gets thrown into a wood chipper. This film gets brutal. But it never forgets that ultimately it's going for the laughs and the cheers. It just makes you want to feel as contemptuous of the villains as much as possible, so that you really crack a smile when Jackie kicks him in the face or runs him down with the hovercraft. You don't know if you haven't seen this film. One can surmise that American or Western audiences who weren't as familiar with Jackie Chan's films were very excited by this picture. They thought they could assume it's definitely one of his best films ever, surely. Although I think that there's a more skeptical attitude perhaps taken from those who were fans of Jackie Chan's films, in Asia, in Hong Kong, say. They believe that Rumble in the Bronx is nothing special. It's just a typical fare for Jackie Chan, and it's just the fact that it was shown in America to such a wide audience, wide distribution, that it has such a glamorous reputation. I actually tend to think of this one as having higher, more distinct production values than some of the other films prior to it. I think the comedy, the slapstick, set pieces, choreography are all A+. I think where this film goes wrong is perhaps an overemphasis on comedy, although that being said, it's not as though Drunken Master, either of them, Dragons Forever, or the first Police Story, or 3, aren't short of it either. I mean, you could say that perhaps it's not top shelf Jackie Chan, and that it's more just a streamlined mainstream reapplication of the Jackie Chan formula. But I think it's a really effective illustration of that formula here. Watching the dubbed version, we've got a 90-minute film, and it's a splendidly entertaining, fast-moving 90 minutes. No complaints from me in that respect. There is something inherently fun about Jackie Chan wandering around New York City, what appears to be the New York City of Michael Winner's Death Wish 3. I think it's a very fun film overall.